Welcome back to Cityline, and now Ron James is going to tell us the weirdest place he put his autograph.
Yeah, sure. Just on the back of an offer. That's the only place I want my autograph.
All right. We're going to talk about buying a house in the 90s. And I tell you, there's a lot of pressure going on. But if you're buying a house right now for the first time, this is El Primo.
El Primo. This is the time. I can't emphasize it enough.
Yeah.
Middle of the summer. The market favors the buyer all the way around. Financing, pricing, incentives, interest rates. This is absolutely the time. I know there's a lot of media propaganda, like this is a good time and it's always the best time to buy real estate.
Yeah.
But it really is. We're at the end of a 7-year slump cycle. We're going into a good market cycle for the next 7 years. This is the time to buy.
But this is, again, this is when you were on last time. It's never going to be the 80s again.
Never going to be the 80s, but we're going to see some momentum. You're going to make some money on your real estate, believe it or not.
Okay, a lot of people who are paying exorbitant amount in rent and things like that are going, well, I'm not sure if I want to get into that, because then you're talking about property taxes and everything else that goes with it. So you have to kind of do a checklist of why you should move. First of all, financially, it is very feasible for you to do this. As you said, it's a perfect time to do it.
Absolutely.
But you got to think of your lifestyle.
Right.
So let's go through some of the checklists that you tell people that you work with as to why you should get into a house right now.
Well, just one fast note about renting right now. If you're spending $850 a month in rent, landlord has the right to raise it by 4% every month at this point in time in Ontario, at least anyway. Over 25 years, you're going to spend $425,000 worth of your money in rent. If you bought a $150,000 house today at today's rates, at the end of 25 years, you would have only paid $375,000, but you would have had an asset. You'd be keeping that $375,000, not kind of making your landlord rich. So that's the first thing to consider in renting. As far as the lifestyle situation, housing is only good for about 3 to 5 years. So if you're single now or you're just a couple now at this point in time, look at what's going to be happening as far as your lifestyle for the next 3 to 5 years. Are you going to start a business from home? Are you going to have a family? Does the home reflect that? Those are the important things as far as lifestyle. Does it have to be close to commuting? That kind of idea.
You near the GO station?
Near the GO station,
right. Is there parking?
That's right. There's a marina close by.
You know, here is a real estate, person here, and you live on a boat. I don't understand that, but that's okay. Pre-qualifying for financing. Yeah,
pre-qualifying for financing, important. Go to your local bank. Anybody can do it for you. They're going to ask you how much money you make, how much money you spend, how much money you have in assets and liabilities. They key it all into a computer, and of course they come up with that magic number. You can afford $2,000 a month for housing.
Yeah, and then you put the brakes on a little bit because you're going, wait a minute, I'm looking at far too high when it comes to the housing that I'm...
But people don't say that.
No,
they sit
on
the other side of the thing. They kind of go, okay, we're spending $650 for rent. We didn't make this month's car payment. We're eating craft dinner. Yeah, $2,000 is about right. You know, it's like you got to put the brakes on.
That's absolutely. What else is on the list? What else do you have there? I have legal advice.
Legal advice, yeah. Before you kind of run out and make a lot of decisions about what kind of real estate you want to buy, it's always good to kind of retain a lawyer. A lawyer who specializes in real estate. You have to ask specifically.
But Ron, I don't have a lot of money.
Well, a lawyer's first initial consultation will be free. If he knows that you're really serious about buying, be more than happy to come up with some free advice, maybe some brochures, some pamphlets on what happens. He'll counsel you on what exactly, or she'll counsel you on exactly what you're going to go through. It's advisable to have that person's card on hand as well, because if you're running into a legal matter or you're kind of questioning the decision, you can make a fast phone call and say, hi, we're at this stage right now. What do you suggest we do?
Okay, agent and builder.
Agent and builder. Ooh,
Is this a good house? Well, do you bring somebody in to look at the house?
Well, yeah, that's kind of, we're really kind of moving along with that. As far as an agent goes, understand right now that the agent's really trying to service you as much as possible. They are in sales. That's how they make their living. At the same time, they get paid by most cases from the person selling their home. So not always is their loyalty slanted towards you. They want to, it's just sometimes their obligations are a little twisted.
All right.
So that's one of the reasons why you want to have that lawyer's card available too, just in case you want a second opinion.
You have to balance that out. Now the builder, I mean, I wouldn't know one builder from another. I mean, if the building is standing, I'm happy. The building is standing, it's 28 years old or whatever. Can you go back that far, or is it that, is that the point where you bring in somebody and say?
A proper or a bona fide home inspector. See, a home inspection situation is kind of a little loose too, because you and I can be home inspectors today. We'll start a business, we'll call it home inspection.
Sure.
Because there's no credentials, there's no real regulations as to what happens.
So how do you find the right person?
88 years in business. Try to go for the one with the longest record at this point for a home inspection. The reason why is because a lot of them take shortcuts. They won't look at roof trussing, they won't look at insulation, they won't look at the furnace, they won't start it up. They won't check for infestation, which is, you know, termites are a real problem in the beaches area,
They
etc.
are, aren't they?
They are.
Would that hesitate for, you from buying down there? Or I don't want to
not every house,
them, but...
not every house has that problem. And again, having somebody comes in who is a professional at finding out that problem, I want to know before I buy.
Okay. So the agreement, completing the agreement?
The agreement is something, again, that's one of the reasons you want to have your lawyer. The real estate agent in most cases drafts the offer.
The lawyer's making some money on this list.
Well, you know what?
Every time I got to check in with him, you know?
No, not necessarily. If you find a lawyer and you can set up that kind of arrangement right off the bat, they're usually very good about it, especially if you tell them you're a first-time buyer, you're a little nervous, you're not too sure about what's happening, they'll do it.
All right. Now, I'm going to stop right there, and I'm going to go over to Marty and go, you know, this is probably, and Greg, with you moving so much too, I'm sure you have some stories, some of which are horror stories. The moving, the pressure on the couple. I love it. I don't love it. You talked me into this. I don't know about this. Yeah. How do you deal with the emotional side effects of purchasing such a big, this is one of the biggest purchases you're going to make?
Well, a lot of it has to do with how people deal with change, because some people are accustomed to change, and they're accustomed to frequent change, and they're accustomed to frequent moves. And some people find change really disturbing, and they prefer never to move again as long as they live. So that, you know, that's going on. And a lot of the time, I really tell people that, you know, your house is an emotional place. And it's emotional, it's not just a home or a space. It's emotional because memories are stored there, and experiences of your life are stored there. So one thing I recommend is that you know that there's emotions going on and there's issues that are going to be brought up because of that. And two, that when you leave the house, take time to say goodbye. Walk through every room, complete, finish, so that you can move on and actually make the adjustment to the change.
Really? You put closure on the closure?
Yeah, put closure on it. You know, say, go into
corner.
When I left my last house.
Goodbye, toilet. You were good to me, thank you.
But, you know, when I left my last house, I had my kids in that house. And I had all of them there, and one of them I even had at home, like in the house. Yeah. So when I left, I mean, it wasn't the house, but I mean, I just cried the whole day of packing. And it was really saying goodbye to the memories that are there.
Greg is so nomadic, though. You have been with your family, and they've been able to pick up and go. Like LA to Toronto, that's a huge move.
Around a lot. My wife is not. She doesn't really like to move that much. She's kind of she likes to kind of root into an area, you know.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, do you have advice for people who move around a lot? Like, what makes it work for you to move around a lot as opposed to your wife?
For me, I mean, it works because I have a reason to move.
Yeah.
I mean, I have, I'm thinking about the career, and I'm thinking about how to finish this job and make it the best I can make it, and so I don't think it's not, no matter how you toss it, it's not an easy thing. It's a hard thing to do.
Is it a hard sell for you to sell the rest of the family because you're the one that's the instigator?
Well, it was the earthquake for us. That earthquake kind of broke the ice.
Yeah, I guess
everybody just said, we're out of here, you know.
And
so it just happened at the right time, and it was kind of, we were tired of the smog and tired of a lot of things, and the thing that we miss is our family.
Sure, of course you do. That's the other thing. A lot of moves are as big as your move, and that a lot of ties are kind of severed for, for at least a couple of months anyway, till you can get back and visit. Okay, we're all going to stay here. We're all going to talk about real estate, all right? Cool. If you've got any questions, ask Ron, 870-7716, or Greg, or Marty. We'll be back right after this.
Great.